disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.
Welcome once again to another episode of Fists, Kicks, and Flicks, the podcast about martial arts, movies, and life. I am one of your hosts, Eugene Plowden, and with me, my podcast partners, Joe Harley, Angel Diaz. What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
If this is your first time with us, I want you to know we are members of the Martial Arts Center Network. On Mondays, you got Raw with Mimi and Lump. Tuesday is CTE with Chris, Los, and Travis. On Wednesdays, it's us, Fists, Kicks, and Flicks with Gene, Mike, Joe, and Angel. And on Thursdays, you can get the Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. For more information, you can check us out on all of our social media platforms. Just look for the Martial Arts Center Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Fellas, it's showtime. What's up, guys?
Not much, man. Enjoying the weekend. Some decent weather yesterday. Not so much today.
It's been pretty today.
Hung out at my father-in-law's today. Had some dinner, so it's been a good weekend.
That's good, man. Bugs, what about you?
That's good, man. Kind of just getting back to reality, being back home. So that's going good. But yeah, man, I kind of just had like a chill day, chill weekend. Ain't nothing much really going on.
Okay. So was that I can't remember, man. Was that your first time at the U.S. Open?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've been to the U.S. Open and Battle of Atlanta recently. And like you said before, this is your first time like really getting out there to these big national tournaments. So what do you think so far?
Honestly, man, I love it and hate it at the same time.
Explain, what do you hate about it?
So I hate because for me, it's like, man, I don't want to say this on air.
I didn't put you on the spot.
Okay. I hate it because there's a process, right, that you need to go through, and how that process is being handled by different people could be different things, but it's a process. So you have to take a step back and you got to realize like you're not the top dog in that scene yet. So it's like just getting back to that grind. So in that sense, like I hate losing. So I just really just hate that aspect of it. But I love it at the same time because I always dreamed about doing these events, and the fact that I'm not winning if you guys were to see like what I do, like I'm off the plane back in my school like right away. Like it's I actually love the process of getting there. So me, like, winning is cool, but it's like winning is only fun when you had to go through a process to get there. That's how I see it. So for me, I hate it just because, again, like I said, I hate to lose, so that part sucks. But at the same point, I love it just because I'm getting to experience new things. And it's just, honestly, man, it's just completely different than what I ever thought it would be. So it's I like that aspect of it. But yeah.
Okay, all right. Joe, did you ever go to any national tournaments?
A few.
Okay.
I did Bluegrass. I did a El Paso or something tournament like that. I think that was NBL.
Okay.
Did the Cactus?
Chicago. I did a lot of Chicago and Ohio.
Yeah. The same with me.
I don't think I ever did U.S. Open or anything that far.
Yeah. Pretty much. I never flew on a plane to go fight. It was just all driving.
Me too.
You guys want to hear a funny story from me?
Go ahead. Yeah.
So the first fight of the whole entire tournament was me versus Chris Walker.
Was that a team fight? Was that a team fight?
It was a team fight. Yeah, man.
Okay.
It was the weirdest, hardest thing for me to do. I promise you.
Why was it hard? So
it was hard because of what we do, right? Like I see us together, like we're a team in itself. Like if you guys would have come down here, like I got you guys. We're gonna have stuff to do, like anything like that. So to me, I see us as like our own team. So it's like it's kind of funny in that aspect because it's like, damn, like we both are on the same podcast show. We can't kill each other here. Like And then with the way me and Chris fight, we both fight. We have similar styles. Like we hit hard. We like to like get in each other's faces and all that. But then it was also weird because Chris has like helped me for like all throughout these years. Like the past like 2-3 years, he's helped me get better. Like it's, I will go to him and ask him like, "Yo, what do you think about this?" And he'll give me his honest feedback. So there's a lot of stuff I couldn't get away with. I already kind of knew it.
Angel, listen. Okay, I have a twin brother, right? Do you know how many times we fought each other in a tournament?
How many?
Probably a dozen.
You guys actually
Do you know we fought the crap, we fought each other for first and second plenty and draw a crowd. Because we would try to beat the crap. You're not going home together not trying to beat the crap out of each other. And you don't want to be the one who lost.
Yeah.
So, the best tournament we ever did, it was in Canada. We got to fight for first and second against each other for on our birthday. And it was a good fight. And then I won the grands and I split it with him.
Well,
so that's what you got to do. When we're not brothers, we're not friends. When you get in that ring, that can all be okay afterwards.
Listen, let me tell you, when we got there, and I knew what their lineup was. I knew their lineup was the same thing our team put out. So we're there, and I won the coin toss, so I chose for us to send first because I had like my game plan in mind, and I looked at my other teammate and I said, "You want to go out first?" And he looks, he goes, "What do you think, Angel?" And I look over and I said, "I already know who they're gonna throw out. I'm gonna go out first. I got you guys." And I went out, and sure enough, Chris walked right out, and I was like, "All right, I knew this." I'm gonna tell you guys, as I bowed, I'm gonna be honest with you. I looked, and in my mind, for a split second, I literally told myself, I said, "Oh my God, I'm fighting Chris Walker. Yo, this is amazing." And I'm like, I'm fighting Team All-Stars. What is going on right now? And then once I bowed and I looked at him, I was like, all right, now it's over with. Like, now we gotta, like, it's time to separate that business and pleasure.
Gotta turn it up.
Yeah, it ended up being a 5-5 fight, so it was a tie, which I'll take that. It's funny though, because after the fight, me and Chris talked. He's like, "You should have got that kick, but you shouldn't have got this other kick." I was like, as long as that's fine. I was like, said that. Nah, but that was a good fight, man. Honestly, it was like fighting a mirror. If you watch the fight, like we did the same exact things to each other to score points. It was the funniest thing in the world. But yeah, man, I just thought that was hilarious. We talked about it after. We were just like, "Yo, man, what are the odds that main gang goes against each other in the first fight of the whole fight?"
Well, that's pretty cool, man. And it's good that you getting out there, getting that experience, and you're still young, man. You got a lot of time to go, man. It's people that's in their 50s and 60s that's still competing. Oh, I'm not gonna be competing in my 50s and 60s. That's not gonna happen. But but there are people out there doing it, So
I'm waiting for the creator of Martial Arts Inner Network to finally just one day randomly suit it back up. So,
it was at one point in time I thought that Trav was gonna get back out there and do it right, but no, I don't think he's going to do it now. Only because of how he went out. Like he went out winning a gold medal, the WKC. So he's not going to want to. He wants to leave on a high note. So he's not going to go back out there unless. And like I said, like he'll probably if my uncle summons the Team Plowden family together like Voltron, and he wants us all to fight together. if Unc does that, then yeah, Travis, he ain't gonna have no. He can't say no. He won't be able to say no. So I wouldn't be able to say no. My uncle, he'll hit me up, he'll call me and be like, "Hey, get your ass in the gym. Train. Even though I'm already training, but he'll say karate training. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Trav ain't getting back out there doing. He won't be out there, anytime. So now, unless it's like me, eventually if he has a son and his son or daughter, and they want to see daddy fight, then maybe he might do that for the kids. Who knows?
The day Champ does that, I'm gonna make sure I tell Champ, make sure I'm at the event.
Yeah, you know that.
Hey, you know what, man? If Champ did that, I'm gonna be in the senior division. That's crazy for me to think of being in the senior division myself, because when I was a kid, the seniors, they didn't look young. I still feel like I look young. You know, I still feel like those guys that were in the senior division when I was a little kid, when I was coming up, like those guys were really old. And
okay, but they had a couple of guys you did not want to fight. Danny Dixon, that guy hit hard.
Yeah, you know, he did hit.
Danny Dixon hit hard.
I think I did fight him though. I think I did fight him. I think I did fight him when I think I won when but I was like 18, 19 years old, you know. That was a Michigan. That was a Michigan thing, you know. But he was not the normal senior that we saw back at that time, you know. A lot of those guys' guts were hanging over their belts. And they had gray hair. Like those were the people that I'm thinking of, like when I was little, and I saw it fighting in the senior division. You know, people that Mr. Allison was just mowing down, running through all those guys. You know, but now it's not really like that. You know, I don't know, man. But as long as I get out there, if I did it, as long as I got out there and had fun, enjoyed myself, and Champ had a good time, that's all that really matters. You know. So,
for sure, 100%.
But like I said, I ain't got no plans of doing that shit. So anyway, my weekend was pretty chill. Also, yesterday I recorded the other podcast, the IDGAF Unfiltered podcast. I did that yesterday. We had a good talk. The podcast, that podcast that I do, it's always going to be random. Like we go from topic to topic. So we covered a lot of things. We talked about the McGregor fight a little bit. And this is before the McGregor fight even happened. So we talked about that a little bit. Yeah. We talked about the Black Widow movie. Did you guys see Black Widow?
I'm about
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Yeah, okay. So we talked about that, but we didn't do any spoilers. So it's not like this show here. We just talked about our feelings about the movie. It's not like this podcast is real spoiler heavy. We don't give a fuck. It's not so.
But we're doing movie reviews, like
exactly. So it is what it is. But anyway, other than that, I just dropped my son off with him back at his mom's house, so he's back home. So now I'm on to this show. The movie Kiss of the Dragon. I gotta tell you guys, man, I like this movie. You know what, man? After this movie went off, I sat and said, you know what? I think myself personally, I think Jet Li is my favorite action hero.
Okay, so I have a thing.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say this out loud, and I'm gonna catch flack for it, but I'm gonna be real. Jet Li won the hearts of like the minority demographic. When he did his movie with Aaliyah, we all accepted him. We said that's our man right there.
But what's wrong with that? That's okay.
No, because I say that because some people will fight me on it when I say it. But I say it. If you ask most people, everyone says like, "Oh, Jet Li," because of Romeo Must Die. Like that was such by him doing that movie, and then it's sad to say, but like what happened after that movie, that's like such a big movie for him. And
the other thing that Jet Li does so well is he's very good at adapting to like the American culture in his movies. Mm-hmm. Even this movie, even though there wasn't like part of a soundtrack that I remember from this movie, he had Mystical twice.
Yeah, I was about to say Mystical.
And that was the thing then. Mystical was huge in the early 2000s.
I'll give you that, and also. He did Cradle to the Grave with DMX. Like,
yep,
that's our next one. That's our next movie, I believe.
Yes, it is. So he definitely. Yeah, you're right. But yeah, I in all seriousness though, this is a movie I picked to watch like almost not 10 out of 10 times when I just want to watch just a good karate movie. For me, it's really good.
The only problem for me is I didn't get a chance to see this 2 and 3 times. I planned on watching this movie more than once. I watched the movie on Monday night, and I haven't seen it again since then. So I don't know it as well as a lot of the other movies that I've seen 2 or 3 times. And that was the only reason I didn't get a chance to watch because I was busy. I had a lot of stuff to do last week. But man, when the movie went off, I was like, damn, that was a good movie. Mm-hmm. And Jet Li, man, he just carries himself like a badass. Like he did it in Lethal Weapon. He did it in this movie. He did it in even in the movie he did with Aaliyah. Romeo Must Die. He carries himself like a badass.
He's so smooth.
Jackie Chan to me doesn't really carry himself like a badass. You know, if I look at Jackie Chan, I can see him as somebody that's working in a bank and says, "So, hello, sir. You know, how can we help you today?" You know, but Jet Li does not see. He just seems like a badass. Like I believe him as a martial arts fighter.
I feel like that's just because Jackie Chan, he made his living around being silly. He never wanted to be taken like serious like that. Jet Li, it sounds crazy, but it's almost like I think if people were to count up like how many words he speaks in his movies, like some movies he barely talks.
He lets his feet talk.
Like, I peeped that in Romeo Must Die. I was like, he's not really talking in paragraphs. Like he's talking.
He talks like 2 sentences and that's it. Like nothing else. But the rest of it is just like looks, like movements. Like I give him credit for that, man.
But you still understand everything. That's the crazy part. Like he's talking in like sentences, like you said, 2 sentences, and all that shit makes sense. Like you're not lost.
Listen, straight and to the point, and now I'm gonna kick your ass.
Exactly.
That's all we need.
Exactly. You know.
And I heard that he is so fast that a lot of the directors have to slow him down because the others can't keep up.
Okay,
you know,
like okay.
So we're not even seeing like his full potential.
Okay, like all right, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Anytime people say that, I just think it's bullshit. But I'm gonna say
well, I'm just telling you what I've heard behind the scenes.
No. I've heard that before.
I have too.
But I've heard that for like Wesley Snipes. I've heard that for Bruce Lee. I've heard that for Steven Seagal, and he just does Aikido. Like I've heard it for some of these people, and in my mind, I want to be like, okay, well, like if you like put a camera on me and I throw like a jab, like you're probably not gonna see it with how fast I'll throw a jab.
Mm-hmm. That's right, because it's the untrained eye.
Exactly, and that's my thing. I feel like it's an untrained eye, and then like I'm not saying this, especially on like a huge budget like Kiss to the Dragon, but like we don't know if the guy directing a movie has like experience with looking at fight scenes. Like he could just be using a normal lens, and he could say, "Oh wait, we need to switch the lens." Man, he was so fast, and then that's how like the rumor builds up.
Yeah.
Me personally, I do think like he has real martial skill, but like to say he's like faster than that, I'm like, man, Bruce Lee was faster than that, and that was in the 70s. How do we know the camera wasn't crappy? We don't know that. Like you know, that's just me though.
100%.
Okay, so this movie was a little bit confusing at first when it first started, right? It's one of those movies like at the beginning of the movie, like you really, really have to pay close attention to, or you're not going to understand. You're going to miss different things that they show you.
That's the whole tone for the movie.
Yeah. So because basically, like I didn't know what the hell was going on at first. We see him arrive in France, right? That's where all of this takes place, right? This is France.
Yeah.
Yep.
We see him. So we see him arrive. We see him go to a hotel, but he doesn't check into his room, right? And then we see him go to another Chinese man's house. We don't know who this guy is. Like none of that was explained at first. We're just sitting here watching him do these different things. And then he goes. And he's like sitting at a bar, and then some guy comes and talks to him, and then tells him to go into the bathroom. I was like, goodness gracious! I was intrigued because I was like wondering, like what was going on. You know, some movies that would have irritated me and made me want to say, you know what, I'm not in the mood to watch all this. To be thinking, I don't want to think. I just want to just watch the movie and understand what's going on. You know, like the thing with the pins that he had, right? We get a shot. We see his wrist and we see these pins, but we don't know what they are, and they don't explain it to us at first.
Not until he starts using them.
Yeah, it's until he starts using them, and even then, like I was confused, like what the hell is going on? Like he's just putting a pin in somebody, and they can't move. You know, So is that a real thing? Because I don't know. I don't know nothing about acupuncture or whatever.
That's what I'm saying. It's acupuncture, and I'm sure there are something similar to that, but I don't know that you can incapacitate or make people fall asleep.
The extent that my eyes will bleed.
You talk about the Kiss of the Dragon. You're talking about the actual move.
I don't know. I'm not gonna say no, but I don't want to say completely yes either.
Okay, so I don't know about that move.
Show me some proof of it happening now, and I'll say yes. That's all.
I don't know if that final move that he did at the very, very end is realistic or not. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know nothing about that type of stuff. So I'm not going to sit here and say that that's fake or, whatever. But just the fact that some of the other people he was using that stuff on, it wasn't to that extreme what he did at the end of the movie. But some of the other people, like the girl, he put her to sleep. Like, I'm like, can you put a pin in somebody's neck in a particular way to help them sleep? I don't know. So
I feel like maybe. I mean, they had to get this information from somewhere. So
yeah, you're right about that.
No, it must have come from some type of source, whether it's credible or not. That's for us to figure that part out.
Okay, so I looked up online, like, what was the whole plot of this movie? What was going on? Because, like I said, really at the beginning, I didn't know what the hell was going on. Right now, it says that the French government or the French police force, I don't know if they needed assistance from the Chinese police force to come to help them.
The Chinese were butting in.
Okay, they were butting in.
He was, because when he first showed up, he even told them, like, we don't really need you here, but okay, I guess you're here.
Yeah, exactly. They just seem like they want to, but why would I understand like why if this big boss is a Chinese mob boss, which I didn't think they explained that in the movie that he was a mob boss. I know that only because I looked it up. But do they say that at any point in the movie?
No,
I don't really think they do. Okay.
So yeah, I was just wondering, like, why did he have to come here to help take this guy down? Like, I was lost at the beginning of this movie. Things picked up later, and it got explained, but I didn't know what the hell this first part of the movie had me lost, especially since he had to meet the police officers like in secret in the bathroom, and then they're checking him for weapons. Like, I didn't know if he was a bad guy. I didn't know what was going on at the very, very beginning of the movie.
I think all that was a smokescreen, mostly for him to get his gun.
For them to get his gun.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
To frame him.
Yeah. That's 100%. I think they did all that smoke and mirrors to make him trust them. Like, think, okay, we're legit. We're undercover. We need to know we can trust you. Now you can trust us. Okay, now you don't need your weapon. Which, by the way, I'd be like, no, you're not taking my weapon.
Yeah, he's a cop too. Like,
exactly.
Like, what cop just gives up their weapon?
Nobody. That was, and you keeping your weapon. Why are you keeping your weapon, but I gotta give up mine?
Yeah,
like,
that was weird.
I'm here to help. I'm not here to shoot you.
Yeah, I didn't know who was bad and who was good. Like, I didn't know. Like, I didn't think that these guys were police officers. I didn't think Jet Li was a police officer. And when he's introduced to the inspector, let me pull up the inspector's name because I definitely don't remember his name.
It's crazy. I've never known his name. I just knew him as the bad guy.
Pierre Richard. Okay, John Pierre Richard. That's his name. So when he first sees this guy is beating up some Chinese man in the back of a restaurant.
Know, what the hell was that?
They never explained it. And then some guy hits this guy with a spinning hook kick or something, right? Or was it a regular hook kick? I just know he kicks this guy in the face and lays this guy out after he had already been beaten to a pulp.
Maybe he's just looking, Jet Li, like looking around going, I guess this is how they do it in Paris. He wasn't going to question it. He's like, okay, this is a little different here.
Yeah. So like I said, I didn't know who was the bad. I thought everybody was bad at first. Like, I didn't know these were police officers at first. I just was lost. I didn't know what was going on. Right. But we find out later that they are monitoring this Chinese boss. And I guess he was a drug smuggler, and they're trying to take him now. That just seemed pretty weird to me that the Chinese government, one, like you said, Joe, would butt in and send one of their officers to assist the French police. And then also it seemed weird that it didn't seem weird that the French police didn't want them butting in, because I think any police force, I think that would be the same thing in in a police force in the same city with different departments. Like they don't like people are kind of territorial about what they're investigating. You know,
100%.
So you know they're monitoring this guy, and they sent prostitutes. I don't know who sent these prostitutes. At first, it seemed like the police sent them, but then it seemed like they didn't. Right?
No, 100% he did.
The police did send the prostitutes. Pierre, Richard.
Yeah, he runs them. He runs that whole operation.
Yeah. So I just, like I said, like I like the movie, but this beginning part just had me all types of confused. Right?
No. So his idea was, for whatever reason, he wanted this dude dead. Okay, maybe he was on his territory because he runs stuff in Paris. That's the real reason that the Chinese government was there. They were looking into the French police and the corruption. But you're not going to tell them that's what you're there for. You're like, oh no, we're just here to help you with this mob boss. But that's why John, I guess we're calling Jet Li's character.
That was so disrespectful. That was disrespectful. The Inspector John Pierre Richard, he couldn't pronounce Jet Li's name. So he said, okay, we're just going to call you John. And for the rest of the movie, he was the only person calling him Johnny. You know, but that was just, it was funny, but it was disrespectful. Go ahead, Joe.
So his idea was to get close to this guy and away from his bodyguards, send in the prostitutes, and then, you know, they're going to get him, you know, in a vulnerable place and then kill him. And nobody's going to know about it. And then they're going to set Jet Li up for it.
Yeah, but see, that
or Johnny.
But that was so stupid, though. That was real dumb. It
really was.
Because he was one of the top officers, investigators, detectives, whatever you're going to call them. I don't really know if they even gave him a title or whatever. But to try and set him up, like nobody would believe that he did it.
Okay, but guess what? I don't know if you catch this later, halfway in the movie. The guy he was staying with, his quote unquote uncle, had said that Johnny was the fifth person that they sent. And the other four went home in a body bag.
I missed that.
Yeah. So he said, I want to see someone finally go home. Because so this was they sent the top because the rest were getting killed off by that same police force.
Okay. Now that makes that makes sense because I didn't understand. Like, okay, I got it. So they try and set him up. Okay, so what ends up happening is the prostitutes are in the room. One of them cannot take it. What was her problem? Also, at first I thought this was her first night as a prostitute, but then later on, it seemed like she had been doing. So why did she seem so jittery and nervous and kind of seeming like she didn't want to be there or want anything to do with it?
She didn't want to be there. She's not into this game. She's only there because the inspector has her daughter. Her daughter.
But
she's only in this game because she wants her daughter back, and he keeps making promises that he's never going to keep.
Right. So, but I mean, like I said, this did not seem like it was her first night as a prostitute.
She's been a prostitute for over a year. But she's not a good one. She is saying there's girls
she's
turning.
Not a good one.
Well, she said there's girls turning 25 tricks a night some nights, and she's lucky if she gets 5 in a week.
She's a horrible prostitute.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
If that's the case, she is a horrible prostitute. So if that would, I do remember her saying that. So okay, if you know, with that being said, then. Now I see why she was acting the way that she was when she was in the hotel room. That just wasn't her thing. Now that other prostitute that was in there, like she was a pro.
Oh yeah.
You know, she was doing coke, and you know she was just taking it to the mob boss.
Yeah, she put the music on. She got everything going. Got the body swinging.
Yeah.
And took care. She stabbed him. She was into it.
Now, she stabbed him, and then she starts dancing around, and she's stabbing him and dancing. Was that
She was high as fuck at that time.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Why was she doing that? So, the police are monitoring this, so they see what's going on. They see the prostitutes dancing. They know that it's two in there. They have the room bugged, and they have cameras in there. So when she starts stabbing the mob boss, Jet Li runs in there to stop this from happening, from him being murdered. He even puts one of those pins in her neck and stops her. Yeah. That's when he first did that. I was like, what's going on? I didn't understand what was going on at that point in time. I thought he killed her. I thought he stabbed her with something and she was dead. But then they come in, the police come in, and the inspector, and he just shoots. He just shoots the mob boss and the prostitute.
You don't care.
And he did it with Jet Li's gun. And I just didn't understand why. I just didn't understand why they were setting him up for that.
Because he was too goody good, and I think they figured they couldn't flip him. So that was their backup plan, was basically, okay, he shouldn't have butted in. We had everything under control, and now he's going to foil my plans. But let's get him out of the picture.
I think they were planning to set him up anyway, regardless. That's why they had his gun.
Probably.
You don't do that off, just,
No, you're right.
All of a sudden, you just about to do that, So, that was a little strange. But it was still it made for an entertaining movie, because for the rest of the movie, he is on the run. That's pretty much it. For the rest of the movie, is just him running, fighting, and hiding from the police force that's after him. Even getting out the hotel room. I'm sorry, not the hotel room. The hotel. He's climbing out the window. He's going to different floors. He's going back up. But let me go back a little bit. So when the prostitute came into the room, I thought, just only because of how the camera was, I thought he knew one of the girls. Only because how he looked at her. And then later on, when we see her working and she's standing in front of his uncle's store, just the way he was looking at her, I thought he remembered her and where he saw her from.
Yeah.
But he didn't.
He had no idea. Plus, she had a
different wig. Yeah, a wig on. Did you like how they did the scenes with him running and hiding and trying to find a way to get out the hotel? He even goes back up in the room and gets the video of.
I like that he had them. He's down on 5. Oh yeah. No! Now back up to 8. Like, yeah, running.
Yeah, he did. All around, and then he's taking some of the guys out also. What was weird? He did not. He didn't stash another gun somewhere else. That was a little strange to me also. Just that he just had one. And I don't know, there were some other people that he worked with that were there. I don't know. It's just certain stuff that was just weird to me, because he had a telephone and he ends up calling one of his friends who were police officers, right?
Yeah.
So I was wondering. Go ahead.
But okay, so you're leaving out the way he got that telephone, and I thought he got a gun that way too, but maybe I'm wrong. Because he had a backup little plan that was on a piece of paper that sent him to a locker. That's how he got that telephone.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. But
the locker opened, and then that's when he got the
phone. Was that, like a train station or something?
It looked like a train station, because it didn't look like an airport.
But we never saw him put that stuff in there.
That's what I'm saying. I think that was the backup plan for if things go sideways. Get to this locker, open the locker. The locker should have everything you need to get to us, to get back to us, to escape.
Okay.
Like a plan. But what I don't understand is when he had something that he pushed a button and it opened up another locker that was full of guns. That wasn't the police. So maybe that was something to do with the bad guys. Maybe that's something he stole from that video room.
Yeah, because I don't know.
That was a little messed up.
Yeah, because I'm there now. I got it playing in the background, and I see that part you're talking about. And there's a phone number on that telephone, and that's when it happened. He pressed those numbers in. I don't know. Maybe that was all set up for him by the other Chinese police officers.
I think the Chinese government had that set up already.
Yeah.
And like them knowing that he's going into and them knowing that they already sent 5 people there and they never came back. They're like covering them behind just in case.
Okay, so they have this big fight inside of a laundry chute.
Yeah.
You know, they try to get him out. They try to burn him out. They try to kick him out. They try to stomp him out. They even throw a grenade, and the way he kicked that grenade in that guy's But I'm gonna tell you something. John Pierre, whatever his name is, he's an asshole. He does not care about the people working for him.
No,
because he threw that guy right down the chute and let him blow up.
Yeah,
he will step on anybody to get what he wants.
Yeah.
That's not a guy I want to work for.
Well, just like the prostitutes, they probably don't have no choice. He might be forcing them to work for him.
He's forcing all of them trafficking. I mean, some of them look like they're okay with it and just deal with it, but he's forcing them for sure.
So he even goes. So John Pierre Richard, the inspector, he ends up going to the Chinese police and he ends up talking to them and telling them that he basically makes up a lie and says that Jet Li killed the mob boss, he killed the prostitute, he shot him, and then ran out. They look like you're full of shit. That's what they look like. They want to say.
They knew he was full of crap. They knew that because one, they're like, first off, this dude has no reason to do all this.
None.
So you're full, and he's the best of the best. Second off, your evidence is suspect at best.
Right.
Like none of the evidence made any sense.
Now with the young lady that was a prostitute, maybe I missed this. Like I said, I only saw this movie one time, and it was Monday, so my memory is a little fuzzy. But did they say what was his relationship with this prostitute? Like, why did he have her daughter in the first place?
So she told a story towards the end of the movie where she met a guy. Everything seemed perfect.
Yes, I remember.
He treated her real nice. He had all the answers. He was taking care of her. And then, bam, everything changed. He's not taking care of her. He's putting her on the street. He took the daughter, put the daughter, she didn't know, but she figured out, put the daughter in an orphanage.
Yeah, okay. When I heard that, the first thing I thought, which is wrong, it's really wrong. But like, have you guys really seen like an orphanage, like in real life? Like, are those still a thing now, or are kids just going right to foster care?
I think it's foster care more than orphanage.
Yeah, I've never seen one. Like, I've never seen like a physical building that was like St. Mary's Orphanage or anything like that. So have you guys ever seen one?
No.
Okay. Angel, you have no sound. Okay.
No.
Okay. All right, yeah, okay. So this little girl, like even the orphanage, it was when they showed the orphanage, it was like really stereotypical of what you would think. But I don't really think if they really have orphanages, like I don't think it's just one big room with a whole bunch of beds, and these kids are just laying around in a bed like that. I don't know, but I think nowadays kids are in foster care. But when I heard her say they took my daughter and put her in orphanage, I was thinking like, goodness gracious, like they still have those, like those things are still around,
Maybe in Paris.
Yeah. So now, Joe, when you were talking about the uncle, you put up quotation marks. Like you don't believe that was really his uncle?
No, they explained it. That guy was serving a debt to the Chinese government.
See, like I said, man, this is what happens when I don't watch a movie 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, I mean, they grazed over it, but that was a safe house they set up for them, so nobody knows that guy. That's why he calls him his uncle, because if you remember, they were trying to find out if he had any family
I
in
remember
Paris.
that. Mm-hmm.
But he's not going to come up as his uncle because he's a plant. He's planted there to run that business to secretly bring Chinese police there. That's why, he has a hotel room, but he never checked into the hotel room because he don't want to be found. He wants to be, you can't find me.
Right. So he's at, like you said, his uncle's restaurant, and he's eating. And, the uncle does not like the prostitutes being around his store at all.
Of course not.
And, the one girl, do you guys remember her name?
Oh, no, I don't remember her name.
Jessica. There we go, Jessica. Now, she was
They only said her name one time, and it was the cop that brought it up, that said her name once.
Yeah. So she was American. Did they say why she was in France in the first place?
Nope.
Okay. That sucks. Like, to be stuck in a whole nother country and pretty much trapped and then put into prostitution,
Yep. Not only that, but the crazy thing is the daughter was more speaking French. So the daughter must have been raised there.
It's crazy because they ended up making a movie, something similar, like someone was prostituted in France. I don't know. Maybe you guys heard of it, Taken. I don't know. Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah,
we've heard of Taken.
But yeah, no. I honestly, dude, that never made sense to me. Every time I watched this movie, I was like, "But why does her daughter have an accent?" It always threw me off.
Because she was raised there.
Now, was this daughter the inspector's daughter also?
I don't think so.
That we don't know.
Okay,
but
because if it was, he didn't give two shits about.
No, he did. He didn't.
I will say this though. I definitely love. This is gonna sound weird, but I've always wanted to have the chips that were in the.
the pink and blue or whatever they were.
I don't know why, but I always said
shrimp chips.
Bro, I was like, are they like cotton candy chips?
That's what it looked like to me. That's exactly what it looked like to me. Yeah. Cotton candy chips.
I always wanted it. Always.
Well, if you ever go to France, make sure.
I'm not going there, bro. Listen, maybe this is what it's really like. But how come every movie that has to do with France, there's always someone getting prostituted out? And then like some type of mob drug lord is always trying to traffic you.
That's because
what if there's a woman? What if there's a woman trafficker? She sees me. I'm some cute little American ass that's Hispanic. She's been trying to have me all up in her thing, bro. Like, no.
So I got you, man. You're trying to make sure that you are not prostituted out. Okay. I never thought I would hear
for Angel.
I never thought I would hear a martial artist be scared about getting turned out, but okay. Okay. Angel don't want to be on the corner. Hey, big mama, come on over here.
Oh,
I got something for you.
Because then what if I'm on the corner and then a different person comes around? Man, I don't need all those issues. Like, come on. I'm just saying, like, they in all the movies, they don't make France look that appealing. Like, it's just, I'm just saying, like, I don't know what it is, but prostitution in France is always like the biggest number one thing.
I wonder how Americans are portrayed in these other countries when they do a movie that's like a French movie, but they're talking about something going on in America. Somebody like, I wonder, are they doing that? Like, is it bad? Are they going right to the hood? You know, or are they experienced any type of racism and portraying America as just a mean, evil place? I don't know.
Bro, they got us on prostitute corners.
Whatever. America. The rest of the world thinks we're just fat and lazy and watch TV all day.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
listen. With this podcast, we kind of living up to that right now. So, we sit down and watch TV 2-3 times. Kind of right on that one.
So Jessica is in front of the uncle's restaurant, and she's just standing there, and he tries to get her to go away, but she has to use the bathroom. And how he was acting toward her during this scene. I thought he knew her. because he was trying to. I thought he was trying to keep her away from him because he thought that the police force would come around and then recognize him. I thought that she would recognize who he was also.
When he sat down to eat, he saw the pimp kind of manhandling her, so he felt bad. So that's why the uncle tried to shoo her away, and he just said, "Let it go, let it go." She's basically saying she's had enough. She's been through enough.
And but he did let her use the bathroom, and
because she was going to piss on the floor.
Yeah. Now when she was in there for a while, right? I thought she OD'd. That's what I thought happened because when he opened the bathroom doors, she was like sleeping on the toilet. But I thought that she had went in there and popped something or shot something up, especially because I saw the other prostitute, do that line of coke. So I thought that, that she was part of the party too. So I thought she was going to do something.
No, before she was put out, remember, in the office, the police officer's goon shot her up, even though she didn't want it.
Yeah. That's right. That did happen. He did. Man, that was rough. Yeah. So they're keeping her hooked on drugs, and that's not just something because I think that was heroin. He shot her with heroin, I think.
I believe so.
Yeah, that's not something that you just about to get over. Not heroin. That's not going to happen, But they did not play that up in the movie. Like she was not, fiending for it or anything like that. Later on in the movie, so. Jet Li's character, he eventually meets up with the other Chinese police officers. Well, at least one of them, his friend. Now, his friend kind of seemed like he believed him, but he didn't. Well, he seemed like he was being cautious by what he was saying.
He just wanted the proof. He wanted the proof.
Yeah.
He wanted to be cautious about getting him out.
Yeah, and he was trying to find a way to get him out, and then he got shot. I didn't see that coming. That surprised me. When he got shot in the back of the neck, because he got because they weren't teasing it. Sometimes in a movie, like you can kind of see what's going to happen and you can kind of predict it. So the police officer asked him to meet him at a ferry, and they get on this boat, and Jet Li's character. He's like kind of looking around, and we could see that somebody's watching. I couldn't tell if that is supposed to be us watching him or if that was someone else. And then
I was a little confused by that.
Right. Eventually, we kind of find out that was somebody else watching him, but they were already on the boat. Right. So then, as they're on the boat on the little ferry, that's when the other cop gets shot in the back of the neck, and then we see other police officers coming at him. Now, I could have swore that he gave the video evidence to that cop.
He did.
Before he got shot. And then he got shot,
yes.
And then I saw him take off. Like, I didn't see him grab the tape back from him.
He didn't. It got to John. John Pierre had that tape.
But I thought later on he had it back. I thought that Jet Li
got it back for him.
Okay. All right. I missed that.
He threw it in the dust with the turtle.
Yeah.
Which is so random.
Yeah,
Why is that turtle in your dust, bro?
Something else that wasn't explained. But, all of this random stuff that's going on in this movie still did not... It didn't stop me from enjoying this movie. And you know what I actually thought of? I thought when I was watching the movie, I said, this is a movie that I could see Matt Damon in. Like, if they could redo this movie and take Jet Li out and put Matt Damon here, then I could see this happening. Like, it would remind me of the Bourne movies.
Bullshit.
It's,
I don't want to see Matt
Damon with Kung Fu.
Yeah, I mean, just the fact that he's running, he's trying to avoid these guys, and these guys are chasing him. That's what it kind of reminded me of the Bourne movies. What were you gonna say, Books?
I said bullshit. I want to see that motherfucker run this shit.
You got beef with Matt Damon,
bro? I hate Matt Damon. What?
You know him? Like what? What's going on? Like what's your beef with him?
I don't like his movies. He's terrible.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, he's all right.
He's all right. Like I don't have this type of vitriol like you're displaying.
What is you add Matt Damon to the movie? What's he gonna do? Give me 5 words?
I think it was speak a little bit more than Jet Li.
Yeah, man, I ain't wanting them little Ocean's 11 ass. He better cut it out. Dude. Get out of here. Bro,
Man.
don't ever say that. Don't ever say that.
Looks like I'm not going to be the one doing the rant today. This is going to be an angel rant. So this is not going to be me.
Bro,
and it's so random. This is a random rant. Like Matt Damon, he got beef with Matt Damon.
You know what? I hope Matt Damon plays Johnny Cage in the next Mortal Kombat. I said it.
I hope Matt Damon sees you at the tournament and gives you a hug. That's what I hope. I hope he just comes up and just says, "Oh, Angel."
God, like him and Affleck, like those dudes, like they can stop acting. Like it's terrible. I don't want to ever see them. Like, like I never understood why everybody was like, oh, Born Ultimatum, Born Supremacy. I'm like, these movies fucking suck. Like, this is terrible. Like,
I was okay with them.
I've never seen a more.
Yeah, I was okay with him too.
I've never seen a more bitch person in my life. He runs.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Like, I'm sorry. I'm just saying, like, like, fight back. Like, Hitman was better than that. Like, come on, bro. Like, it's terrible.
Wow.
That's it.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Right.
You said Matt Damon in a movie that's already amazing. Don't bring the value down. Like, don't.
Man, goodness gracious! I didn't know I was going to get this response. If I had known it, I still would have said the shit because I like seeing you get riled up. That's all right. It's all right though.
Bro, I'm actually upset right now. I'm sweating. Like this is.
All right, back to the movie. So, he somehow evades these police officers on the boat. He gets off the boat, and he's running away. He evades them. More running for the rest of the movie. He gets shot, right?
Yeah, in the arm.
He gets shot in the arm.
Yeah, because his uncle tries to stitch him up, or
right,
or it was either his uncle or he started stitching himself up, and then his uncle came.
Yeah, but his uncle didn't finish it because I think Jessica came in. She was standing outside of the window.
The uncle left and Jessica came in.
Yeah, and she came in.
I don't know, man. Like I personally, if I was that uncle, I would have just asked Jet Li, like, "Yo, you hitting this?" Or like,
she offered a few times.
Like
she did. She did.
I'm just saying, like she kept being in front of the window. I get it, like he protected her, but like she didn't need to pay him back that much. Like it was all good. Like here's some chips, get out. Like that's
it.
He was trying.
Chips and dip, huh? Chips and dip. So yeah, so
you're such an asshole.
Huh? Who, me?
Oh, bro.
Me? Oh, you just got that what I said? Oh, you talking about Joe?
No, I'm sending him Matt Damon in the chat. I couldn't help it.
So the
is
prostitute.
Good Will Hunting? Look how old he is. Like what? Like,
you know what?
Good Will Hunting. Get the hell out of this, bro.
Joe, I got a question. I got a question for you, Joe. Do you think any of the Bourne movies are they technically martial arts movies? I mean, so we can watch one with Age.
You know what? Before today, I would have said no, but right now, yeah.
I'm telling you right now, for 4 weeks, you guys will not see me on this podcast. Oh no!
You know what, man? You know what? I want Matt Damon to be your sponsor. That's what I want. I want him to be your sponsor. That's what I want. Team Damon Karate Team. Then you gotta like him. Then you gotta like him.
At that point, I swear to God, I'll look and I'll just tell him, be like, "I'll take your money, but I still don't like you, though." Oh God.
So the pimps come in, and they notice that Jessica's not, in front of the window, and they come in. They see her stitching up Jet Li. They come in and start to fight. He's beating up all of them. A big guy comes in, and that was a good fight between those two.
That guy did the typical thug thing. Yeah, take the shirt off.
Yeah.
You're talking about when he fought the big black dude?
Yeah.
Right now, the coldest scene was when he took out the Splinter, and he just kept fighting. I was like, "Oh, that's a bad man." Splinter would have had.
I like when Jet Li punches him right in the throat. Nobody can. I don't care how big you are. You can punch in the throat like
exactly.
that.
That's it.
You're done.
He punched a beam and broke it. Like I did that. I mean, he was jacked, but still,
Yeah.
that was that in this movie. That was my third favorite fight scene. The other,
Okay.
I know exactly where my favorite fight scene is.
What happened?
He said he
I know
knows
my
exactly.
I know my favorite fight scene. I don't know if it's y'all's, but
we have the same one. We all should have the same one, but I'm just saying that. That's
when he fights the twins,
yeah, that's the best fight scene in the whole movie.
that's my favorite fight scene.
I no joke. I've not like I will go on YouTube just to watch the scene. It's amazing.
I watched it like 3 times already.
It's amazing.
So as he's fighting, one of the inspector's guys drives by and he sees what's going on and he realizes, oh, here's this motherfucker I've been looking for. He's this is where he's been hanging out.
Wait. No, that ugly old prostitute that was outside called him.
Oh, that's what happened.
Oh yeah, she called him and then she took off.
Yeah,
and he rolled up and was like, "Oh, I'm gonna take care of this right now."
But why? Okay, so okay, never mind. I know why. Okay,
I don't even think he knew it was Jet Li. I don't even think he knew that.
I think he did know that
he was causing problems, so he's gonna take him out.
I don't know. I think he did know. Because when and then the uncle came, and I felt bad because as soon as the uncle came in, that's when that guy pulls out the gun, and he just gets shot up. Because this guy had a machine gun, and he just. But when that happened, I knew, okay, well, you just fucked up now. Because he's definitely gonna fuck you up. Now he ends up killing that guy. He sticks 2 chopsticks in his neck, and that's the end of that guy. And then he takes his uncle, or whoever this man is, his quote unquote uncle. He takes him and takes him to like in front of a building, and he lights up some candles, and it's like this whole ceremony. He said that I guess that's something that he promised him he would do. Something like that, yeah. Yeah, because I was wondering, like, why is he taking him? Like, why is he not just leaving him there for the police and the ambulance and everyone else to come see what happened?
Well,
but then I'm not sure about that. That's weird.
Well, he also could have did that because of their culture. Like, that could be a common practice that's in their culture. And you got to figure, technically he was working with the government, so that, that's kind of like if a cop or if someone that's in the service dies in the line of duty, like they do like a ceremony. So kind of like the same thing. Because he was helping them. He was helping them, honestly. So he could be considered an ally. So.
Or and maybe he did not want him there when because this was the police. So maybe he didn't want the police to put two, because the police are the bad guys in this movie. Maybe he didn't want them to put 2 and 2 together because those were his guys laid out on the ground, and then he would have put 2 and 2 together and say, "Oh, this is where he's been. This is where he's been hiding." Anyway, so now he eventually realizes that Jessica was at the hotel when the mob boss was killed. He remembers her. And he also knows that she knows that he didn't have anything to do with it. So he wants her to clear his name, right? But she doesn't want to because she's like, no, I got to get my daughter back.
Yeah, she's more than willing to help, but not at the behest of her daughter.
Yeah, who would?
And that's where she's like, you only care about yourself. You're not worried about anything else. Well, yeah, to a point. But he comes to his senses and says, okay, if I help you get your daughter back, will you help me?
Right.
It's a good deal. It's a good setup.
Angel, you got anything?
At this point, so my only thing I just didn't like, this could just be me. I just felt like he should have known that she was gonna get in the way too much. Like,
who, the prostitute?
Yeah,
Jessica.
No, let's not call it a prostitute. Let's just call it Jessica. No, I feel like
wait. You're gonna scream and yell about Matt Damon, but we can't call Jessica a prostitute. I'm saying, like, that's your threshold.
I'm just saying, try to move on with her life. Like, let's not bring people. Matt Damon's still making crappy movies, so I feel like he should have known that she was gonna slow him down. Like, and I mean, I get it. He already talked with her. He's already like kind of building I don't want to say a friendship, but like he's building something there with her, but he can't leave her because he knows that she'll get killed. But I feel like, he should have known.
No, I know where you're coming from, but he does need her because she's gonna go get that tape for him. Instead of her testimony, that videotape that's up in the desk, that'll clear him regardless of what happens to her.
So he agrees to help her get her daughter, and he goes with her to the orphanage to get her daughter. She sees the name. She goes to the room. She finds out what bed she's in. She goes over to the bed, but little girl's not in the bed. It's the bad guys. They're there, and fight breaks out. Now, this is the same guy that was at the beginning of the movie that did that kick and knocked that guy out. They were trying to make him seem like, okay, he's a badass, but to me, he really wasn't that much of a badass to me.
He looked like a little French poodle.
What you got, Angel?
That guy was badass. He's over here snapping someone's neck with a hook kick. I want to do that shit. We're out of here.
He's all right. Well, the thing is, we didn't notice at the beginning with him is he's the twin, so there were two of him because we find that out now.
Yeah, but I'm just saying though, like Joe. Wait, no, we knew that bullshit.
When did they show both of them together?
I didn't
until now.
When they were in the office and John Pierre was talking to them, one was reading "Where's Waldo."
Oh yeah, okay.
We knew
that was brief.
I didn't pay attention. Like you've seen that. You've seen this more than me. So
So he said, John Pierre said something like, "Go get Johnny Boy for me" or some shit. And they both were sitting there. And the big one, I felt bad. It's like they're kind of trying to say that he's like dumb. He's reading like "Where's Waldo?" and he's like this, like trying to look around for it. And then the other,
okay, but they were the same person. It was just this guy playing it twice.
What?
It was the same person.
He grew.
They were the same. The twins were one actor playing themselves twice.
It was one.
I looked at it in the credit. Yeah, it was one actor.
How?
Just the way it would. That's what it said in the credits.
If they got something to make your legs grow, I want that. Because his face was two different faces. That's the wildest thing I've ever heard of. Joe. Joe, don't piss me off. Like, really, for real, bro. Like,
what Joe said
look
he
it
read
up
in the credits.
The credits said twins and it had one name.
Give me a second.
So, how did you like the escape from the orphanage? Like, he ties a sheet around his legs and they kind of fall backwards. They kind of fall backwards out of a window, and he puts her down, right? And he's still hanging there. And then the bad guys, they come and they start shooting down at them. Now she gets shot, but he doesn't get shot. And when she fell, I thought I was tripping because she fell. I said, "Oh, that looked like she got shot." But then I was like, she couldn't have got shot. Like, no, I know they didn't shoot her. But yeah, she actually did get shot. It looked kind of funny. Then he carries her to the hospital, right? And I'm thinking like, okay, you're not going to stay at the hospital because I'm assuming like with gunshots, the police are notified if something happens. So I'm thinking like, okay, he's not going to hang around, but he hung around and just waited the whole time.
And the police never showed up either.
And the police never showed up.
They don't care.
Maybe it's a French name.
That would have solved all the whole movie. They'd been like, "Oh, they're right here, dead."
Exactly.
But I guess not.
So, he's talking to her in the hospital, and he ends up putting her to sleep. He puts one of those needles in the back of her neck, and then she ends up going to sleep. And basically, he's going to go get her daughter. And then he ends up going back. He ends up going to, I don't know.
Wrong.
Who's wrong? Joe?
Joe. I looked it up.
It's two different people?
Two different people.
All right.
No, I mean, oh yeah, you know, right? He's right. I'm looking at it too. Listen, it is. But then again, I'm looking at Wikipedia. And like, he said he looked.
No, I'm looking at IMDb.
Okay.
To be honest, the names are
same person.
The names are hard, but
they are hard. They look like an eye chart. Like I can't even pronounce these names. I can't even pronounce these names. They look like an eye chart. I can't pronounce these names. And obviously, Angel knows exactly what I mean because he can't. He's laughing hard. So anyway, he ends up going to the headquarters where these guys are at, and there's a whole bunch of martial artists training, working out, doing karate.
Everybody wants to do Enter the Dragon.
Yo, let me tell you something though. So this was my second favorite fight scene of the whole movie. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I felt like he did it better. I'm gonna be honest.
Fine. That's fine.
Like I feel like he did it better only because when he fought 4 people at once, to me that shit was nuts. And I'm gonna be real with you, I could believe he actually did that.
Like, I did a good job with it.
Why? You know, what's your thoughts, Joe?
I said he did a good job with it. I mean, he made it look realistic, but I'm sorry. Y'all are some sorry martial artists. If 50 of you can't take on one little Chinese dude.
I mean, it's the same. It's the same as the ninjas, man. It's the same as the ninjas in every movie.
Hey,
they're just there to get beat up.
He basically had ninjas. He just told them wear a white gi with a black.
You know what? If they put white belts and yellow belts and green belts, maybe it's more believable. But
it is. It's 100% more believable.
All black belts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
If
I'm the instructor of 50 black belts and one Chinese guy's coming and beat you all up, I quit. I'm not a good instructor. I quit.
But yeah, that was a good fight scine.
Yeah. So that's when he fights the twins, and he ends up going upstairs with Jean Pierre, and he has the little girl. He has her there. And then that's what he explains Kiss of the Dragon. And I was literally wondering that the whole time I'm watching the movie. And then I started to think, when I was watching the movie, I was like, why is this movie called Kiss of the Dragon? At first, one of the prostitutes, the prostitute that got killed earlier in the movie, she had a dragon on her back. So we saw that when she was dancing around for the mob boss. So I thought she had something to do with the title of the movie. But then as the movie went on, I'm like, why is this called Kiss of the Dragon? So we find out that this needle that he has, and he's going to place it in his neck, that is actually the Kiss of the Dragon. And all of the blood from his body is supposed to rush up to his head, and then the blood is going to come out of his eyes, his nose, his ears, and he's going to have a slow, painful death. That's what Jet Li tells Jean-Pierre. And that's exactly what happens when he sticks that needle in the back of his neck. Was that believable?
I mean, yeah, from a movie standpoint, I want to believe it. So yeah, I'm gonna believe it.
He got shot on the way to doing that move.
He did.
Oh,
he did.
Way to doing that? I'm on the floor. I'm saying,
well, not only that, but I'm gonna have a bigger problem is because what if he decided, screw it, to shoot the girl instead of shoot at Jet? Like he was really taking a chance.
Oh yeah,
because he was taking a chance. I did have a problem with that part, but I do like the idea that you could take that needle and put it in the perfect spot. He did it with his mouth.
He did it with his mouth.
So, I mean, they're just adding all kinds of believe it or not kind of stuff.
You know what? I kind of liked it, man, because a lot of martial arts movies we always see at the end, the final fight, the final battle, two martial artists going back and forth, and eventually the hero wins. This was a different type of way of doing that. Like there was no major fight between these two.
Because he would have kicked his ass anyway.
Exactly.
That dude was only giving orders. That's all he was good at. He couldn't fight.
Yeah, you're right. And he ends up taking. I'm surprised the daughter went so freely with him. Like she didn't. She hadn't known who he was. She didn't know anything about him.
Well, that's why he brought the necklace. But still, I'd have still been a little worried. Like, oh. And she was saying goodbye to the guy dying.
While he's spitting up blood on the floor and everything.
Okay, one thing. So that was pretty much the end of the movie. So he ends up getting the little girl and bringing her to her mom, Jessica. Jessica, he goes back to the hospital. He takes the little needle out of her neck, and then she wakes up. So I guess as long as she has that needle in her neck, she's going to stay asleep. Now, I know from when a person is in a hospital, there's doctors and nurses constantly coming in, at least every 45 minutes to an hour or so. So you mean to tell me like nobody came to draw blood or give her some medicine or...
He put them all to sleep.
he put all the doctors and nurses on her floor to sleep. So
was sleeping.
Yeah, so nobody came to check on her or do anything. All right, fine. That's fine. Okay. Did they ever say what happened to that other Chinese police officer? Because there were two. Remember that the French inspector was talking to, Jean-Pierre Richard was talking to. And then one guy seemed like he was very, very close with Jet Li. And then the other guy seemed like he was kind of like their boss. But I'm surprised they never had him reach back out to that guy.
Yeah, I'm wondering about that. But also, if I had to assume, I assume he was at the Chinese embassy. Maybe wait to see what was going on.
I didn't understand why he didn't just go to the Chinese embassy.
Because they might have arrested him.
On his own.
But without proof, they might have arrested him.
I guess, man, but
he wasn't gonna trust anybody else but himself to get the evidence that he needed.
Yeah, it seemed to me like these are the people that you work for and work with, and that they know you, and they know that you are the best.
Yeah, but four of them have died.
Yeah, but he's
got to
see. That's my point. That's my point. Like, if I would have went to, like, if that was an American consulate or whatever, I would have went there. Like, okay, now we know why our people are dying. Like they're being set up.
But if you need proof before you start an international tragedy, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to start stuff with Paris, who you have a good relationship, because they're saying your guy did this, and we're saying no, he didn't. Then you might start a war just over that. You need proof to say no, your guy's dirty, we're good.
Yeah. So, Angel, this was a good movie, man. I have no. I mean, even though we kind of cut it up, just because we cut up a movie doesn't mean we did not enjoy it. We just bring out. We just have questions, and when we see holes in the plot or whatever, and we just try and talk about them and work them out. Because, like in this movie, like you saw, both of you guys saw things that I didn't recognize or see, or you guys explained different things to me. So. Just because we cut it up doesn't mean we don't enjoy these movies.
No, I definitely, I will say this, man. Like, this movie is really one of I'm my list of 5 go to like I'm saying it's it doesn't matter what the day is. I just want to watch a karate movie. I'm watching this movie, especially for the fight scenes and all that. Like, this is one of my more enjoyable movies I love to watch, honestly.
So what's next? Is it Cradle to the Grave? Is that the next one on the list? I'm trying to look now to see. Yeah. Cradle to the Grave. Okay. Yeah. I haven't seen that movie in a long time. Since it came out, I know I liked it when I first saw it. So,
actually, I've been watching that movie a lot. It's been on Netflix, but in all seriousness, man, like how we talked about, Jet Li just has a swagger about him, man. And at that time, he was so hot. He was hot. Like, every movie he did was it was just a hit. He was.
It was all real good.
And to be honest with you, it's you saw his swagger develop from Romeo Must Die to Kiss of the Dragon to Cradle to the Grave. Like he started to believe in himself more. It's crazy.
Don't forget about Lethal Weapon. That was the first movie I seen him in. Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, but I'm saying his own movie, where you him, just him.
Mm-hmm.
He did a few other ones. He did The Mask. He did one. I
didn't really care for one. I saw one. I didn't really care for one.
You saw the one.
I didn't really care for it because to me, it was wasn't it kind of
futuristic?
It kind of reminded me of The Matrix, but it came out after The Matrix to me.
Yeah.
So I didn't. So when I saw that, I was just there's The Matrix. I didn't need this movie to be like The Matrix.
What's the other one I was talking about where he had the collar on? Unleashed. That did you ever see that one, Gene?
I never saw that one.
Check it out. Good. It's pretty good.
Okay. So what grade are we giving this movie?
I'm giving it an A. Without a doubt.
I give it an A-. What about you, Joe?
Fair.
Yeah, I think so. I gave Romeo Must Die a B+, and I like this one slightly better, so I'll give it A-.
Yeah. This is a movie that I'm definitely gonna watch again. Like this will not be the only time that I've seen that I watch this movie. I will watch this movie again, especially now that because there's a lot of things that I miss, especially since I only saw it one time almost a week ago. There and you guys have brought things up that I missed. I'm definitely gonna watch it again. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, like I said, man, I highly recommend anyone to watch this on just like a chill day. You just want to watch a good martial arts movie, you gotta put this movie on. It's like a go-to.
All right. So next week we are watching Cradle to the Grave. That should be another good movie. I'm looking forward to that one also. You guys got
comedy. I got some good comedy in it.
I didn't mind that. Like it's not going to be. It wasn't dumb. Like I don't like dumb comedies. I don't like dumb shit at all. I really don't like that. Certain comedians, like if you're a dumb comedian, I just look at you. Like I'm not laughing. I'm just looking at you. You know. So a lot of dumb like all the different
like Homie the Clown. Would you laugh at Homie the Clown?
Oh yeah, that was different. That was different. I'm talking about like name somebody, name a movie, a silly movie, a really silly movie, not a funny movie, but it's just silly.
South drinking gin and juice, South Central.
Yeah, I didn't really. You know what? I didn't
talking
really
about
care.
Don't Be a Menace to South Central.
Yeah. That's what he's talking about. I didn't like that really.
Yeah,
I love that movie.
That's like goofy. That's like goofy.
That movie's so good. Come on.
Nah, I didn't really like that.
You know what? I'll tell you what. Like this. I mean, I definitely should not have watched this, but as a kid, I watched it and I thought it was hilarious. I watched it like a year ago. I was like, "What the hell is this bullshit?" Like, what? Like this is too. Like,
that movie. I
crazy legs. He look crazy. Like
that type of stuff. I don't really get into stupid stuff. Even though, let me go back. Like that movie, I didn't really care for. But Scary Movie, I like Scary Movie because
but you already know it's a spoof. Like it's better. Like
but that one was a spoof also.
I know, but it's like for that one you're kind of just like I'd much rather like keep the original. Like the original.
Yeah.
The original is iconic. Like don't fuck with that. But for Scary Movie, fuck with it all you want. Who cares? Like
that movie was funny to me. But that don't drink your all that shit. Like I just no, I didn't get into it. You know. So anyway, you guys got any closing remarks?
Oh, good, man.
Yeah, no, man. Just make sure you guys listen in to Inside Scoop. Oh, Inside Scoop, 100 episode. Like, make sure you guys are listening to that. Yeah. They show some support for that. And, yeah, man, get the subscribers up. These guys are trying to get me drunk and fucked up. So.
Yeah, that's right. Congratulations, Alex and Jeff, making it to 100. Joe, you got anything?
No, same thing. You know, subscribe, share, let people know. Come on, let's get those numbers up.
That's right. All right, so for everyone here at the Martial Art Internet Network, for us here at Fist Kicks and Flicks, you all stay safe, stay strong, and we will holler at you guys next week. Director, play my music.
Disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.